childhood living is easy to do.
You know, everything that's happening here is what I'm passionate about myself, you know, even aside from this. Of course, I'm passionate about vet medicine, but I'm also passionate about the earth and doing what we can. And, you know, this obviously, our government's not going to help us here. We need to start, I'm talking big picture, we need to start from the ground up. That's what's going to move everything, is from the ground up. And that's what these people have showed us. They are our examples, and we should be as brave as they are to be able to take this. Doesn't matter how large the black snake is, take it in hand. And we all know. That's why there's so many people here, because we know this affects us all. Even though it's not on the small level, it's not our fight. On the big level, it's everybody's fight. Something different to everybody. When I thought about what I personally can do, my best thing would be to help the horses, because the horses are an integral part of, a very important part of this whole thing. I said the horses are really the spirit of the place, and these guys are extremely good at what they do. They're extremely natural horsemen. They're very dedicated. They're very concerned about the animals, and they have unbelievable skill with these animals that probably goes back for most of their lives. So they are very concerned about doing the right thing, and at the same time they're an integral part of this whole thing, because the horses really help with morale and help with, you know, they show power and they show spirit and they show connection with the earth. And these boys are I'm not even sure how to say it. It's so, their relationship with these animals is so integral to who they are. Dropped off that was on the way to the killers. We don't know why. They just worked with her and got her going, and, you know, were able to ride her. They've had a few horses get dropped off that were pretty wild, and, you know, and they were bucking people off, and they you know, have been working with these horses, getting them gentled down so they can be a part of this whole just so integrated in how they handle the animals, and they have such a bond. The horses run free at camp, and they stick around here. On these horses at a minute's notice, you know, jump on a bareback and take off at a full gallop, and the horses seem to really enjoy it. they're very bonded.
Graceless lady, you know who I am. You know I can't let you slide through my hand. Why
to share some medical knowledge. So if an animal does get injured, which a few of these horses have been injured, or gets ill, then they'll know how to handle it, and they can communicate with me long distance, and they'll have the supplies, and they'll have the diagnostic tools and the capabilities to handle what goes on. And then if we have a horse that gets in more trouble than what they can manage here, then we have a little bit of funding to send them to a local veterinarian.
No sleeping exit or on stage line could make me feel better.
From a veterinary standpoint, these animals are in perfect, they're fighting fit, and they have free access to food, as much as hay as they want. And I don't see any of these animals that are too thin at all. And they're extraordinarily healthy, their feet are good. You know, Dan Sullivan came from West Virginia to help with their feet. Some of them need some trimming, but for the most part, their feet are in really good shape. And overall, I've seen a very healthy herd here. Horses are, I mean, there's two sides of the story. One is horses are extraordinarily well adapted to cold. And having said that, what really, really is hard on the horses is wind. So you can be in 20, 40 below, and I know this firsthand. I live in a ski town in Park City, Utah. You can be in, you know, very cold temperatures, and as long as they're out of the wind, they do really, really well. And so really a better use of the resources is to build windbreaks. So we can build big, long, L-shaped windbreaks, so no matter what direction the wind's coming from, the horses will naturally go where they're out of the wind. And even if they're wet from snow, they get out of the wind, they do pretty darn well. Also, we're having some donations of horse blankets. There's really, really good horse blankets out there now that are waterproof. And so if it gets too terribly cold, they'll put the blankets on. But the conditions have to be pretty extreme if the horses have a windbreak for them to need the blankets, but they'll be here if they need them.
I'll treat you one night. Wild horses.
So that's how I could help. You know, somebody else, what kind of skill do they have? I mean, it's this camp is really extraordinary, and may attract people to come just to experience it, which is great, because this is very historical in scope. We may never see this again in our lifetime, or we might, because now that we have an example. But think about, what skills do you have? You know, can you do construction? Can you cook? Can you, if nothing else, come and clean up? You know, donate food. I'm not the one to know what the needs are. You know, firewood, solar panels. Everybody needs solar panels. Everybody needs solar powered stuff on a practical level, but also to set an example. You know, we have, like Elon Musk says, we have this generator in the sky that can provide all of our needs. It's just a matter of capturing it. And why have we not, you know, pursued that all these years? We've known it's been out there. We've had the technology, but now it's on an everyday. It's on an everyday level. I power all my electronics with a Goal Zero solar panel, and my light and everything else. And so we can all do that. I've seen some really extraordinary scenes here of, you know, like a teepee with 10 Goal Zero solar panels strung across it. You know, which I think is just a really poignant bringing together of the traditional and the new, and that's what we need.